particularly proud of the work that took place through the Free Enterprise Group to promote lower taxes, including raising the high rate threshold to £50,000. And you know, it's policies like that, of course, that really help and empower individuals. We talk about aspiration, you know, in this building, but do we talk about aspiration enough outside, you know, on the doorstep and obviously with the British public? And so as a Conservative, and James will feel the same as well, you know, the fact of the matter is that we do not make the case enough in our politics right now about the value and about the purpose of lower taxes, and lower taxes for the individual as well as businesses. And of course that means they are empowered to spend their money, not the state, and also they are empowered through the freedoms that they have to invest, spend and make decisions themselves. And of course, what do they get alongside that? They get the chance to fulfill their own potential. None of this is rocket science, and you know, it's back in the days of one great lady, the Iron Lady, Margaret Thatcher, said in 1975, a man's right to work as he will, to spend what he earns, to own property, to have a state as servant and not as master. These are the British inheritance. They are the essence of a free economy, and upon that freedoms, all other freedoms depend. And that is why, ladies and gentlemen, the IEA and the Free Enterprise Group are just so important, because they are out there promoting the values that we know work in our national interests and in our country's interests as well. And just, you know, as Thatcher was doing that and saying that in the 70s and 80s, quite frankly, we have to make those arguments all over again. And what a joy for this generation of politicians and this generation of, you know, those who are at the forefront of the battle of ideas in the think tank environment, but actually in the environment of shaping and influencing public policy. Because we have to ensure that we win the battle of ideas and make the intellectual and the political case for free markets and the role of capitalism. And quite frankly, you know, when you look at the political opponents out there, and they are mainly the Labour Party, all they are doing is promoting the return of socialism, the advocacy of that broken record, that broken legacy of socialism that does harm to countries, harm to economies, harm to the individual, harm to wealth creators. And of course, all we are seeing right now from the left is that sustained attack on the wealth creators, on the job creators, on the entrepreneurs, on the people that want to create jobs and businesses. Many of you in the room, in fact, this evening. And of course, they just grandstand on those belligerent political slogans, and they play on people's emotions and fears. They pitch people against each other as well, and they do nothing more than create division in society. And of course, you know, we've heard in the last 24 hours as well, the TUC at their annual gathering today, again using that divisive rhetoric. And of course, for us, those that believe in the free market, empowering the individual, standing up for aspiration, being on the side of businesses as well, it is our duty to make sure that we absolutely make the political case and obviously the policy case as well. And of course, I think as Conservatives in government, we are doing that, but there's more that we can do. Let's not forget that since 2010, we have more jobs that have been created. That's not jobs that the state and the government creates, that's you guys. It's the private sector, it's a free market, and it's the support that capitalism brings. And of course, you may have heard that slogan over the last year or so about taking back control. Well, that applies to every single aspect of our lives, whether it's money, whether it's government, whether it's legislation, but ultimately it is about the freedom to succeed. And just finally, I just want to say a few things about sort of my role in government as well, obviously as a promoter and a supporter and a believer of the free market, the power of the free market and capitalism as well. It may not have been lost on many of you that I am also the Secretary of State for International Development. So, of course, I deal with poverty, low-income countries, and there is no other force for good in the world other than free markets and capitalism to alleviate poverty and, of course, to create economic growth. The role of the private sector in development is totally underrated, totally underestimated, and countries that have been blighted by natural disasters, as we're seeing right now in the Caribbean, famines, there are 4 famines in the world, conflict, or we're losing track of the number of conflicts in the world as well, but also political instability too, have left communities and generations of people without any hope at all. And also the would-be entrepreneurs in those countries without any hope, or any access to free markets and capitalism as well. So that's why I have prioritised sustainable economic development in everything that we do in DFID. Because you know what? The broken policy of just aid and aid dependency is simply unsustainable. There's not enough money in the world as well amongst governments to keep on funding aid in that binary sense. We have to look at development in terms of empowerment and making sure that we help countries where there is so much instability and conflict in the world to lift their way out of poverty as well. And I'm a great believer and an advocate in ensuring that today's aid recipients of today become, importantly, our trading partners of tomorrow as well. And actually, I think that just sort of encapsulates government right now. Conservatives in government and what we're doing, really standing up, facing down the threats of socialism, backing lower taxes, doing more to stand up for the free markets, but also capitalism and making that case. But looking towards Brexit and the success that Brexit will bring as well, taking back control of money, legislation, our laws, but actually giving people and businesses the freedom to succeed, which is at the heart of capitalism, the heart of liberal free market policies, the heart of enterprise as well. But using forums and organisations like the IEA in particular and the Free Enterprise Group to continue to promote those values, to promote those ideas, so that we can ensure that we have prosperity for all. Thank you very much, and also for your personal support this evening to the donors of the IEA. And I have to say, I look forward to really getting stuck in a different kind of trench warfare now, to go out there and face down socialism so that we can make the case for free markets all over again. Thank you.